and viewers' discretion is advised.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Live by the Three podcast. I'm Coach Matt here, as always, with my main man, Tyler. Tyler, how was your week, man? How's everything going?
It was good, man. Everything's going good. How was your week?
I can't complain, man. Can't complain. It was an interesting week in sports, but we're glad to be back here on the Evening Rush Network. And where can they find us? Social media and streaming platforms. Tyler, tell the people where they can catch us.
Hold on, let me get the list. Let me get the correct list. Let me get the list.
Yeah. Let the people know where they can find
Anchor
us.
FM, Spotify, Pandora Radio, Google Podcasts, iTunes Podcasts. You can download the Evening Rush Network app at the Google Play Store, Apple Watch, or Apple App Store.
Okay.
Also, you can see us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, OnlyFans.
No. Not yet. We didn't debut that one yet. Yeah, that's down the road. That's down the road. So please continue to support the channel. It's been it's great having the support that we've gotten so far, and we're looking forward to continuing to give y'all great content. And it's been a lot of fun for the both of us. So, Tyler, why waste time, man? Let's jump right into it. Interesting.
Before we jump in, let's shout out to Bad Man Benny.
Yes.
Nice RIP mix for Takeoff. You can catch his stuff on Pandora or iHeartRadio.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that was a shout out to Bad Man Benny for the mix, and RIP to Takeoff and his family. Unfortunate situation that happened, and it's sad, but hopefully things like that. Yeah, hopefully things like this don't continue to happen to anybody in any walk of life, but particularly with somebody that was doing well for themselves. It's sad to see, but
Did you talk to your team about the incident yet? Or have you?
You know what? We didn't touch on it today. We had limited time today, but we obviously, you always try to tell these guys that try to keep themselves out of certain situations, and I'm not victim blaming as far as wrong place, wrong time, because things can happen anywhere in any way, shape, or form. But it's just sad, and it's unfortunate that he got caught up in a situation that, from what the reports are, so far wasn't even his situation. He was a somewhat of an innocent bystander and got caught up in somebody else's dispute, but it shouldn't have come to guns being drawn to begin with over something. It's just unfortunate, another young life taken over something. I don't know how serious it ever is, but definitely, from the reports, it doesn't seem like it's something that was even remotely close to being worth it. So again, shout out to Bad Man Benny on the mix, but hope it's a sad situation that he had to even have to make a mix for that, right? But at least all we can do now is try to uplift and and send our thoughts and prayers to the family and to the fans of the Migos and Takeoff, and just try to make a positive out of it some way, somehow, and go forward from there, unfortunately. So but yeah, touching back on the sports world, it's been an interesting few days, particularly with the NBA. So when was it? When was Steve Nash it was announced he got fired? Was that Monday? It was announced that or was it Sunday? It was Sunday or Monday?
Yesterday?
What was it, yesterday? Yeah, because maybe it was yesterday. Yeah, maybe it was yesterday. So Steve Nash, head coach of the Brooklyn Nets, was relieved of duties, or mutually parted ways. I saw it listed a couple of different ways of what the official term that they're using, but he's no longer the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. So I don't think it's super surprising that his position of being the Nets coach didn't last long. I think when that team was assembled and some of the comments that were made, it was pretty obvious that situation wasn't going to last long. But what were your thoughts on the firing of Steve Nash?
Well, no, I think we touched on it earlier. in one of our shows. You know, just the dynamics of with Kevin Durant, how that was going to work. I'm not surprised. I mean, he probably should never even been the head coach in Brooklyn. You know, just like he probably should have never got them back-to-back MVPs. So I don't know what he got going on. You know what I'm saying? But he was a hell of a player, but he shouldn't have been a coach. And there's a lot of other deserving coaches that would have did a better job than he has, been doing with the team that they got. So I wasn't surprised.
Now let me So now let me backtrack on that. The original comments were made when he was hired. Do you think that was the initial quote on me? I guess the only way you could say it is disrespect for him in that position, with the whole we don't need a coach type of thing? Or do you think if it was somebody else who maybe was viewed as a more seasoned or a coach that demanded or garnered that more respect, that commentary or that narrative or that thought process from the players on the team would have been the same if they had gone with a more established and stronger figure as a coach? Or do you think that would have been their attitude to begin with, no matter what?
I think it has a lot to do with the coach. If it was a coach that they expected, they wouldn't have said, because I mean, look at Kevin Durant. He played with Steve Kerr. He's a good coach. He's not like the greatest coach, whatever. So he won, 5 rings or whatever, but he's respected.
Right.
Kyrie dealt with whoever he dealt with. He didn't bug out or say nothing in the media, and it wasn't no high-profile coach.
Right.
So I just think, I don't know, man. Them dudes is just different, man. Together, they just different.
Yeah.
But I think if they had a respectable coach, it would have been a lot more. It would have been a lot different. It would have played out differently.
Okay. Now, so then that begs the next question. Apparently, now we don't know the inner workings of all of this, and people can deny it. But according to what was at least somewhat said in the media, that they okayed it, that they said, okay, yeah, we'll roll with Steve Nash. So if you look at it from that perspective, it seemed like maybe if they said, yeah, we're cool with him being the coach, they wanted a coach maybe that wasn't going to, be that, authoritarian figure and something like that. And, you know what I mean? Like they didn't say, nah, we want somebody that's going to keep everybody in line and, have discipline and be that figurehead that everybody just says, yes, coach, and go with whatever they said. So if they had the choice of picking a coach, they didn't pick that type of guy. They picked Steve Nash. So now how does it turn to sour grapes that he's not the guy that, you know what I mean? Like that part I don't get.
Well, they probably looked at him as Steve Nash, like he's going to, he's a player. He could understand, what they go through. He was a high level player at that, so you know what, it'd be a smooth transition because he know what we're going through.
Right.
But once you get in between them lines and you got to start, holding people accountable, then it becomes, I don't look at you as Steve Nash, the 2-time MVP, somebody I played against and I'm cool. Now you coming at me, it's a little different.
Right.
So I mean, we don't know how they dealt with each other behind the scenes. But I think if they had someone like Mark Jackson, they wouldn't have had a problem with Mark Jackson. Maybe Doc Rivers, so maybe even Tyronn Lue. They wouldn't have had a problem with Tyronn Lue. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they wasn't happy with how they, I don't know how he's, with the strategies for offense or whatever. Maybe that wasn't to they like him. It could be a lot of things. I mean, maybe if Kyrie wouldn't have got hurt in the playoffs, they win the championship. It's a different conversation.
Right. They start off where they start off 2-5 or 2-6, whatever they started off, and
then the things hurt Kyrie on purpose. You know what I'm saying? And that's, it is what it is.
Right.
That's how I saw it.
Right.
They were blowing them out, beating them by 50. You know what I'm saying? You get a little hit. Now the game changes. So it just depends.
Yeah, no, that was like I said, I didn't think that Steve Nash was going to be long for Brooklyn just because, like you said, the internal dynamics and that organization. I'm not going to say it's dysfunctional because I'm not there, so I know I'm not in it. But at least from the outside looking in, they got a lot going on. They have Kyrie's situation, with previous situations going on to COVID and everything like that, and the toll that took, and then now you know, like I said, you got Kevin Durant and he wants to be traded because he doesn't like Steve Nash. And so now they're doing, you know, they get rid of Steve Nash. And then now you got Kyrie's situation going on with his, you know, I guess with his social media and what he's posting, and some of the views that he holds and is, I guess, publicizing, that a lot of people don't agree with, and it's bringing a lot of attention. And then you throw that into the mix as a subject matter is what's going on with Kanye. It's a lot. It's a lot of drama and a lot of negativity surrounding that.
Right. And they're doing that in the Mecca.
In New York with all the media. Absolutely. No question about it. No question about it. And you're in New York City, you're in Brooklyn of all places. You know, let's not ignore the fact you're in Brooklyn of all places, which has a very heavy Jewish population. And this is what you're discussing, and, you know, in a not a positive light. And that's just bringing more and more attention and more drama and more negativity. And it's a lot going on with that organization, right? And then fast forward to the first name that pops up and who they're allegedly in deep conversations to bring in as the new head coach is Ime Udoka, who has a lot of drama going on and a lot of, you know, negativity around his name for, you know, for a couple of different
died. I think that died down.
It died. Well, it died down because he was out of the limelight. Now you throw him back in the mix of the limelight of New York, like you said, and you're going to a high-profile team with two high-profile superstars, and it hasn't been that long since it happened. So, you know, I've been seeing a lot of things on social media where there's a lot of people that are not, you know, it was announced, you know, the Nets are denying that he's the leader or the front runner, that they haven't signed a coach yet. But of course, if he hasn't put pen to paper, he's not the coach, so they can deny that. But apparently from all the quote unquote insiders, it's, you know, it was pretty much close to a done deal and ready to be announced. But I'm seeing a lot of backlash on Twitter, a lot of backlash on social media from, you know, women and in sports, and saying that, you know, this is showing disrespect to women, that after what he was accused of, not necessarily I don't think it's the infidelity thing, but just the power structure thing of,
what did he do exactly? Like, what was they saying he did?
I believe what a lot of people are having a problem with is the fact that he was having an affair with a subordinate, somebody who works, you know, within the Celtics organization, and, you know, beneath him in the power structure and the organizational chart, which is an HR no. Everybody knows that, regardless of what line of work you're in. Everybody knows that those relationships are not going to, you know, that they're not supposed to happen. And then whatever happened in between them, between these two individuals, took a turn for, you know, not good. And then you throw into the mix that the person that you're having an affair with is a vice president within the organization. Is just very messy, right? And you know, and then, you know, like I said, I'm not going to get into the morality and the relationship aspect of it, because that's a separate topic. But just from a professionalism standpoint, is not good. Is not a good look for the organization. So now, like you said, it was quiet for a while. Now you open that wound back up and bring it into a highly negative publicity organization right now. So what are your thoughts on him potentially being the coach of the Nets with all of this going on at the same time? How can you focus on basketball?
I didn't really hear nothing concrete that would prevent him from being the coach. I mean, the person who he had an affair with was married. I'm pretty sure she still got her job. We don't even know. Do we even know her name? Like, how did she get?
I'm not sure.
She just got a free pass out of all this.
Right.
He wasn't convicted of anything. I don't know exactly what was said, but I mean, I know that there's a lot of people in sports that have done a lot of bad things.
And, for sure.
You know, they've been overlooked. Maybe they got the right skin for the protection. I don't know how that works, but it just, I don't know. I don't think it, I mean, he should, I mean, everybody deserves a second chance. You know,
for sure.
I mean, if he can coach, you know, he can coach. I mean, they didn't fire him for a reason. If it was that bad, they probably would have fired him. They should.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, he took the Celtics to the finals last year, so he's definitely a good coach. My question is more so though, with all the stuff that's going on within the Brooklyn organization, and let's just simplify it by calling it drama, right? Let's just simplify with all the drama that's going on within the Brooklyn team, Brooklyn, organization, with all these different things. And then I, heard that, also now Ben Simmons and Kyrie are not getting along, so you got a lot of stuff going on, a lot of media involvement because of everything that's going on within the team and just everything that's going on with the team. And then you bring another high, profile, publicity person into the mix. My question is yes, he's a good coach from what we've seen, what he's proven. I understand that those guys respect him because he was an assistant with the Nets. And one of the reasons I heard that they're interested in him is because he did have the respect of those guys, and they wouldn't try to walk all over him, that he can garner respect in that room with those guys. So and he worked for the organization. So I get all of that. I'm just saying, with all the craziness that they have going on in their organization and team at this point right now, is it smart to bring in somebody else that's going to create more headlines and more questions about off the court stuff that has nothing to do with basketball? Is that the best? Like, how do you ever get to a point of just, okay, can we just focus on basketball now? Like, how do you ever get to that point if you bring him in as the coach?
You got to win games. You win games, that silences all that. It might be a little noise in the background, but you got to win games. He's a proven coach that can win. You got the pieces, and maybe some of that stuff he brings, it would be a distraction for all the other stuff that's been going on. You know what I'm saying? And you need, in Brooklyn, you need someone high profile. You can't bring in anybody.
Well, he's high profile for that.
High profile, it comes with, what it comes with, You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Yeah. He's a celebrity for sure. There's no doubt, for better or for worse, right now, his name is ringing bells for better or for worse. That's for sure.
So if not, they might end up blowing the team up. They're going to have to blow the team up.
You think so?
Yeah, if it don't work. Yeah.
Oh, you're saying you bring him in, and if it doesn't work, then you got to start over. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, you have. Yeah, no, I agree. But honestly, man, go ahead.
It was interesting to see their reaction. KD said he was asleep. He didn't know. He woke up. He saw it on ESPN. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, yeah, all right, whatever. Like, you knew what was happening. You ain't even want to name.
Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, and that's the tough thing about coaching in the NBA. Not that I've ever done it, but it's just like, that, like, going in, like, these are the owner, and especially the Nets, they're showing it. Like, they're pretty much letting you know, like, yo, these dudes, the players, they're running the show. So if they don't like what's going on, you're out of here. So how do you garner respect in that, in that type of environment? How do you get your message across if you know that at the end of the day, if you say one thing that somebody doesn't like, or and that's just the nature of sports. That's the nature of business. Like, yeah, you're going to have disagreements sometimes and not see eye to eye, but at some point somebody's calling the shot. But if it's not you, and at any point in time, the person can send a text message to the owner and be like, yo, man, I don't like this dude, and it's either him or me, and I'm the one putting butts in the seats. So what, the money, obviously, but why would you want to be the coach there?
And he couldn't even get one. He couldn't even get one of them on his side.
Right.
Right. At least get one of them on your side. I know. But, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You think it's Steve Nash to get a job again?
If he does, it would see. Now I don't know how much of. Let me say it like this: I don't know how much of a good coach Steve Nash is, but I think somebody like Steve Nash would be better served in an organization, say like the Spurs, right, where you're going in, and if the owners are going to, if it remains the same, right, the culture that the Spurs had, and say they pass it, Popovich decides he wants to retire, they pass it down to Steve Nash. Now, you have an ownership that's going to be like, yo, whatever the coach says goes. This is how we're running things. He's the final say. If you don't like what he's saying, you're out of here, not him. If that's the type of dynamic, and again, I don't know how good of a coach Steve Nash is, but if he's in that type of environment where he has the ownership and the GM behind him, like, look, man, you run this show. We're going to be 100% behind you. If people aren't in line, you get rid of them, because this is how we're marching. Then he possibly could be in, be successful in a situation like that if he can coach. That's the thing. I don't, I'm not, an expert on his coaching, from that perspective. But if he has the backing of the organization and they're willing to let him run things the way he wants, then I think he could, potentially be successful. But there's not that many situations in the NBA that's like that. You know what I mean? There's not many. So that's the thing.
He can go like to Utah, maybe Sacramento for 2-3 years, hide out.
Right. Work on your game. Work on us. I mean, that's part of it too. Work on your game as a coach. And you're not in the limelight. You're not, obviously the NBA, you're always going to be scrutinized, but you know what I mean? The media pressure is not the same. There's not as many eyes on you, and you can figure some stuff out, and maybe they have a little bit more patience with you, and you can, figure things out on the job. Yeah. That could be a potentially good situation for him. Wow.
Who you got as the front runners for the MVP? Who you like? I like Luka. Who you like?
I mean, I'm a Luka fan, but the teams, I think you got to go with the teams that are playing well. So you got to put Giannis in there. You got to put my man from the Suns in there, Booker. Cleveland's gotten off to a good start. Celtics gotten off to a good start. Portland, so Ja Morant's playing really well, you know what I mean? So Nuggets, and then you still got the Warriors, that those guys are still doing their thing. So early MVPs, I think you got to look at the guys teams are playing the best, like the Milwaukee's and the Phoenix and the Grizzlies. So their top guys are getting it done. So that's who I would put. Who do you think?
I would go with Luka. I want to see DeRozan get MVP. He's nice. I like his game.
You like his game? Yeah. Nice, good mid-range game.
He hit 20,000 points too the other day.
Yep. Okay. All right. Yeah. The NBA power rankings for this week came out, and they got Milwaukee number 1. They got the Suns number 2, Cleveland number 3, Celtics number 4. Celtics number 4. 5 is Portland. All right, you got the Pelicans at number 6. You got the Grizzlies as number 7. Raptors checking in at 8. You got the Nuggets at 9 and the Warriors at 10. And then you actually got 4 of those teams matching up tonight. You got Boston's playing at Cleveland. That game should be going on right now. Probably some. Okay, yeah. So that's a big game right there. 2 powerhouse teams, and then Memphis and Portland tips off at 10 o'clock Eastern time. So that's another power matchup that's going on tonight. So what are your thoughts on what's that?
The Lakers are 1-5. They played the Pelicans.
Okay, yeah. You got the Pelicans tonight.
Yeah, Pelicans are good.
Yeah, they're playing well. Where's that game at? In LA or at
in LA? Memphis and Portland play. That's going to be a goodie.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, definitely, for sure. It's and the NBA's been good. So you like Luka so far? He's doing his thing. What other, besides the teams that I mentioned, what teams do you have stood out to you, I should say, so far?
I like Cleveland. They got a nice backcourt.
They do. Yeah, they do.
They do guard. He's nice. I like this game. Like Cleveland, the Pelicans are good. Utah looked good the other night.
Okay.
Minnesota's coming along. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting year.
All right. So shout out to Shone in the chat. He said he had Boston shaking. So I guess he's referring to Udoka. So he says, so homecoming to Brooklyn could be a great thing. It could be, but I mean, at some point, man, you got to be able to turn down the temperature, man. Like, you just can't be answering all these questions about everything else besides basketball. I mean, at the end of the day, people are human beings. I know people like to, think that guys are robots and they can just turn it off and on and just show up to the court and play basketball. But at the end of the day, people are human, man. And eventually you just keep getting peppered with questions about all these different things. It's going to take a toll on you. There's no way that it can't. That everybody's a human being in these organizations and situations. And at a certain point, like you got to get
during on game day.
Yeah. And they won the game before. I think they beat Indiana, and then they fired him. About that. So at least he can say he went out a winner. He won his last. You're only as good as your last game, right? And he won his last game before he got let go. So he's got that going for him. But listen, man. At the end of the day, he picked up a nice check. You know what I mean? He got to live in New York for a few years. So he can't feel sorry for these guys. And they know what it is going in. But I just, that's hard. Like I said, before you even coach your first game, you got to do saying, well, we don't really need a coach. It's like,
yeah,
what am I doing here? I moved my family all the way across the country for this. Dude's telling me they don't even need a coach. But hey, NBA.
I mean, they did it though.
Yes.
He was just sitting. I don't think he did too much coaching his first year.
Yeah, just let him rock.
He just let him rock, and he did what he had to do.
Okay. All right. Well, let's touch on the NFL real quick. So I see you got on your Patriots jersey today. Now, is that to deflect away from the fact, because we talked about last week if your Buccaneers are going to be able to bounce back at home, and they took it.
Gotta do laundry. You know how you.
That's what it is. It's a laundry day
right now. Yes.
Okay. So we'll leave the Buccaneers alone. We won't discuss that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, not too many people can perform. You're going through a divorce. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's just rough. We got to look out.
It's that negativity. That's what we're talking about. It's that negativity.
My heart goes out to him. He picked his job over his, his purpose, over, his relationship. She could have waited a couple more months, and everything would have been all right. But, hey, to each his own.
Yeah. So we had so let's check out some of the scores from last week. Broncos bounce back and they get a win over the Jaguars, 21-17. Falcons pick up an OT win against the Panthers. Cowboys smacked up on the Bears. Dolphins sneak one out over the Lions. That they're playing a little bit better now, it's starting to get healthy. Vikings with a nice win over the Cardinals. That's your sleeper team this year, the Vikings. That's been your sleeper team all year, and they keep getting wins. They keep getting wins.
Yep.
All right. The Saints. Yep. Saints knocked off the Raiders, shut them out 24-0.
Joker said Bills Mafia. Bills doing good too.
Oh no, man, well we'll get to them eventually, I guess, when we get to them. My squad, we had a letdown, but I saw it.
Who's your squad? They played this week?
You know who I am, JTS, just all day, every day. I don't run from that. I mean, it caught up to us, man. I'm not gonna make excuses with injuries and stuff like that, but I was nervous going into the week. If we were at full strength, I think we would have smacked that jersey up that you got on right now. They would have got smacked around if we was at full strength, but injuries are part of the game. And we had some negative stuff going on in our locker room. So, I kind of saw it coming. I'm disappointed that we lost. Zach Wilson did not play well at all, but we got to bounce back, and we got the Bills at the crib next week. So you know what? That's how you get that. We did say that, Sean. We did say that. So so I'm not backtracking. That's still my squad, but they did not play well this week. And so hopefully but we got a chance to get right. If we can take care of business against the Bills, then all's right with the world. Eagles continue. I always going to root for my boys. Can it happen? Sure, anything can happen any given Sunday. But
that type of confidence. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Eagles smacking up on the Steelers.
Pause.
Titans over the Texans. The Commanders sneak one out, 1-point win. All right.
5-2.
Yeah. No, they're playing well. They're playing
very well. They play Kansas City. On Sunday.
Yep. Okay. That's a huge game. 49ers over the Rams, big win. Giants finally came back. I'm not going to say came back to earth, because the Seahawks are playing really well. And the game was out in Seattle, so they took an L out there by 14 points. And then the Bills rolled over the Packers, and then Monday Night Football, the Browns put a whooping on the Bengals, in that game. So that's
the Bengals are playing bad.
Yeah, no, that they haven't played well. haven't played well. So Eagles got an easy one. They got the Texans Thursday night. So, no upset there. See if there's any decent games coming up this week. Bills and the Jets. Vikings and Commanders actually looks a little bit better than you would have thought. Vikings are 6-1, but Commanders are 4-4, so that'll be an interesting one.
No, they're gonna blow them straight.
And then, like you said, it looks like the big game of the week is going to be that Titans Chiefs game. All right, so
the big game.
All right. So why don't we take a pause here for halftime, and we'll be back with the Live by the 3 Sports podcast after this quick message.
Looking to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-4. Looking to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
And we're back with the Live by the 3 Sports podcast on the Evening Rush Network. Tyler, you threw out a great question to me, and I had to do a lot of research. So you had me working this week. This is your topic, and this was your idea. This was your brainchild here. So I'm gonna let you run with it, but I'm gonna let you know right now. You had me working, man. I had to go in the archives. I had to do all types of research to put my list together. And it wasn't easy, especially, the names are easy, but then when you start getting into the order, that's when it becomes difficult. So Tyler challenged me to put together a list of the top 15 athletes of all time, which was not easy.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. So this is you, man. So you run with it. However you want to do it.
Who you got? How you want to do it? 15-1 or 1-15? Who you got?
We can go now. Do you want to go countdown like I do one, you do one, or you just want to hear my list, or how you want to do it?
Yeah, I want to hear your list.
Okay, so you want me to start in order? Okay, so I'll go start with 15. Now, I'm a caveat dude. So my first one starts off with a caveat. All right. So not the first. Number 15 for me, I went Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Okay. However, once LeBron passes him at the all-time leading scorer, I'm flip-flopping. Kareem's out, LeBron's in at the top 15. Is that okay?
So LeBron didn't make top 15?
He did not. He did not.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
please share more. Please share more.
So the Joker's wilding out here. I see him in the comments, but he wilding out here. So I'm keeping that to the side. He's going cuckoo over there. So all right. So I have Kareem at number 15. All right. But like I said, that's the caveat. Once LeBron passes, he's getting that spot. Okay. Number 14 went with Willie Mays. All right. Number 14, Willie Mays. All right. Has a lot of hidden record. I think he's like I said, didn't see him play before my time, but going through the stats and everything, I think he's probably the best two-way player in baseball history. Obviously, you got guys like Babe Ruth, and you got some pitchers in there, but two-way player, nobody better than Willie Mays with the hitting records that he has, plus all the Golden Gloves that he won. So I think he's probably the best two-way baseball player of all time from, again, my research, because I never saw him play. So I went with number 14 at Willie Mays. All right. Am I good so far? Am I right? No arguments? Okay. All right. Okay. Number 13, I went with Jack Nicklaus. All right. Pro golfer, obviously, greatest of all time, most majors ever, more than anybody in history. Obviously, you got guys like Tiger that tried to catch him. All right. What's up, TC? It's one of my players right there. I appreciate the support, man. So I got Jack Nicklaus, number 13, most majors of all time. All right. Number 12, I went Pele. All right. Best soccer player of all time, all type of World Cups and awards and everything like that. I know there's some guys that's come along recently, the Messi's and all of that. But I think Pele's still at that top tier. Number 11, I went Lawrence Taylor. Again, I haven't seen everybody play. I was born in 79, but the best defensive player I've ever seen is Lawrence Taylor. I mean, I could not stand the Giants, but that dude was a different type of beast. I mean, unbelievable, man. The way, he come around that corner, it looked like a shark attacking a dolphin. It looked like a shark coming off that edge, man. He put that arm up to grab the quarterback, looked like a shark swallowing a whole school of fish. So I put number 11, Lawrence Taylor. Number 10, I got Roger Federer. All right, so probably the best male tennis player of all time, most Grand Slams and most Grand Slam wins out of top 4 tournaments. Number 9, I went with your boy. Number 9, I went with your boy, Mr. Tom Brady. I went Tom Brady at number 9. All right. So I put Lawrence Taylor, number 11, best defensive football player of all time. I went Brady, best offensive football player of all time. All right. So that's how I got that. All right. Number 8 is a name that I had heard before, but I didn't know much about her. Okay. But then I looked it up. Her resume, unbelievable. So this might be, somewhat controversial. People think Serena's the greatest of all time, but Margaret Court. She retired in 77, so again, before my time. But when you look at her numbers, so number 1, she has the most single titles, period. Most slams, period. She has the highest winning percentage overall, and she has the record for the most wins in all 3 categories: singles matches, doubles matches, and mixed doubles. She was, like I said, I've never seen her play. I don't even know if I've seen any footage, but her record is
you don't even know if this is true.
What's that?
You don't even know.
No. I can't verify any of this, but from the research, I was like, whoa, they obviously Serena's awesome. She's incredible, but Serena's still behind her in the majors. And then, like I said, she's got the highest winning percentage, and then she was playing not just playing, winning singles, doubles, mixed doubles, all of that. She got all the records for all of that stuff. So she was, a phenom. All right. So I went her number 8. Okay, then I went number 7. I went Sugar Ray Robinson. All right, pound for pound, best boxer ever. Right, that's what pretty widely acknowledged and accepted as Sugar Ray Robinson, best pound for pound fighter of all time. Again, never saw him fight live. Seen some footage, before my time. So that was number 7 for me. Number 6, I went Wayne Gretzky. Right, I'm not a hockey guy. I watch it every once in a blue moon. Going to hockey games is cool. But dude has like 61 NHL records. Like 61 NHL records he holds. Like that's, I didn't even know there are 61 different records to be had in hockey. Yeah, he's got 61 of them, right? So I went Wayne Gretzky at number 6. All right. Number 5 checking in, fastest man ever to live, Usain Bolt. He didn't have obviously, he didn't have a long reign, right? There were guys like Carl Lewis that had like a little bit of a longer reign. Obviously, Usain Bolt has the numbers, but his domination, and then, he's the fastest man to ever live. And so until somebody and to me, there's something about, if you're talking about an athlete, like that's just pure athleticism, right? Like just running faster than somebody else, like, right? That's the most basic form of athleticism. So I went Usain Bolt, number 5. Number 4, I went with Michael Phelps. All right. So he's got 28 medals total, which is the highest number of medals that anybody has ever won in any sport that the Olympics, has ever carried. And he has 23 gold medals, which is the most that anybody has ever gotten in any sport event, whatever. So, he's the best Olympian of all time. All right. So somebody passes that. So I went with number 4, Michael Phelps. Number 3, I went with Mike. I don't know how much I got to explain for that. Greatest athlete I saw in my lifetime, most dominant. What's that?
Which Mike?
Come on, man.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. Okay, Mike Jordan. Mike Jordan.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, Sean. There you go. Mike Jordan. Went with Mike Jordan at number 3. All right, I don't think I got to explain it that much. Okay, I think everybody kind of gets that. Why, but he wasn't number 1 or number 2. So my number 2, I went with the current head football coach of Jackson State University, Mr. Deion Sanders.
Me too.
Coach Sanders. All right. Now he was a 2-sport athlete, obviously, right? So that shows the range of his athleticism. And he is the only player, didn't do my research, he's the only player to ever, obviously, so there's 2 things. Number 1, he's the only player to have ever played in the Super Bowl and the World Series ever. Nobody else has ever done that, right? And on top of that, he wasn't just a player on those teams. He's the best player. You could argue maybe, but more than likely, he's the best player to ever play the position he played in football, right? That, if he's not number 1 at cornerback, he's 1A or 1B, right? So, so his domination in one sport and then being a really good player in another sport, I think puts him at number 2, because, not many people have done that. And in that same vein, my number 1 all time is Bo Jackson. He was dominant, in both sports. Deion was dominant in one sport, good in another sport. Bo Jackson was dominant in one sport and dominant in the other one. He was an all-pro football player and he was a baseball all-star. So he was dominant in both of those sports. So that's my top 15. So I would love to get your feedback.
Okay. Sound effects? Okay.
Yeah.
You ain't say Ali.
I did not say Ali.
Why?
So I think Muhammad Ali was the greatest. He wasn't the best.
I'm confused.
Yeah, you don't know my differentiation between the greatest and the best? Okay. To me, the best means that you're the most skilled, you have the best record, you're the most dominant, right? That you win the most, that makes you the best. When you're the greatest at something, I feel like you're on another level, but in different ways. If that makes sense. Like this is how I describe it, right? So I'm gonna take you to my hip hop thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Biggie is the best rapper of all time, but he's the greatest. Does that make do you get my context with that?
I might need a drink. I might need a drink.
Or say, okay, even if you want to say Jay-Z, Jay-Z's not the best rapper of all time, but you can say he's the greatest. Does that make it a little easier?
How could you be? I don't know. How could you be the greatest but not the best?
Because Muhammad Ali was bigger than the sport. He was like Muhammad Ali is an icon. He's the greatest in what he represented. And then, that's not taken away from his boxing ability. The Thriller Manila coming back, you know what I mean? After losing his title and being in jail, and he comes back and beats George Foreman, who no one thought he could beat. Yeah, like that. Those are all part of his story and what makes him great. But he wasn't the best. He wasn't the best boxer of all time. Like people say that all the time. Like he had a lot of flaws in his actual, in his technique and how he fight. They said the dude never threw a body punch in his whole career. You know what I mean? If defensively, he wasn't like a technician. You know what I mean? Like he had flaws in what he did as a boxer, but he was so great as he was a great skill. He did still have great skill, but his personality and what he represented and what he did was larger than life. And so that's why you could put him as one of the greatest, but he wasn't one of the best boxers. He just like.
Can you give me 15 to 10 real quick again?
15 to 10?
Who you have for 15?
Kareem.
Okay.
Who
else? 14?
Willie Mays.
Okay.
Jack Nicklaus. So these are all people who are leaders in, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Kareem's all-time leading scorer. Willie Mays has multiple hitting records and multiple Golden Gloves. Jack Nicklaus has the most majors of all time. Pele, probably the best soccer player of all time. I had Lawrence Taylor as 11, right? and because I think he's the best defensive player that ever played. And I have Roger Federer, who has the most majors by a male tennis player. So Ali was great and won the championship multiple times, but he didn't, his accolades as a boxer aren't like, it's not like he's an undefeated boxer or, you know what I mean? Like he won the belt a few times and fought, in great fights. But as far as his record, he's not one of the best boxers of all time, but he's the greatest because he's Muhammad Ali. You understand what I'm saying? Like he's the greatest because, okay, Joker, see, now you're coming back to earth. You started off crazy with your Bills talk, but Rakim, that's a perfect example. Rakim might be the best, if you consider Rakim might be the best rapper of all time as far as technically and all of that, but he's not the greatest rapper of all time. That's a perfect, the Joker,
But you said Muhammad Ali was the greatest boxer, but not the best. So that's two different things.
No, that's the same. It's the same.
You said Rakim is the best, but he's not the greatest, right?
Yes.
You said Ali is the greatest, but he's not the best.
Yes.
So it's just two different things. You would have to say Ali is the best, but not the greatest to bring in Rakim in this.
No.
Okay, you said Rakim is the best, right?
Yes. I know. I'm not saying that. I'm saying someone. No, he's not the. He's not the best. He's not the best to me. He's one of my favorites. He's not the best to me. But if Joker feels like he's the best, that's different. But whoever is considered the greatest rapper of all time, in my opinion, Rakim is better than them. Better as a rapper, but he's not greater than them because he's not as popular. He didn't sell as many records. He's not as an icon like the people that are considered the greatest. To me, when you say somebody is the greatest, like even Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is not the best technical basketball player of all time. He's not. There are people that are more skilled than Michael Jordan, but he's still the greatest.
Who?
You could say Kobe had a little bit more game than Mike, right? So that's what I'm saying. So Kobe, right? That's what I'm saying. Fundamentally, Kobe's game was a little bit tighter than Mike was, but Kobe's not greater than Mike. Mike Jordan is on another stratosphere. You know what I'm saying?
Can't even say Kobe, but Kobe got his stuff from Mike.
He did. True indeed, he did. But that's what I'm saying. Kobe Bryant could be a better basketball player than Michael Jordan. He could be skill-wise, all that. He could be a better basketball player. He can never be better. He can never be greater than Michael Jordan. Even LeBron, you could say that even if you think LeBron is a better basketball player, I don't think so. But even if you went there and said that LeBron is a better basketball player than Michael Jordan, he'll never be greater than Michael Jordan.
So you got Deion at number 2, and Deion can tackle.
I mean, he wasn't a good tackler, but he's still considered the best at his position. Okay, and he was a really good baseman. So the top two guys
Ali was considered the greatest of all time.
And if Ali played another sport, that he would be like that. That's why I gave him that. No, I get you.
Like not 15 people. You don't throw Ali in there.
Okay. So I mean, truth be told, I did try to spread it out a little bit amongst the sports. I didn't want it to get too top heavy. And if I had to decide, there's a lot of sports. And if I had to decide on one boxer, I'm going to go who, again, I didn't see Sugar Ray Robinson fight. But based on what I've read and the research that I did, people say he was the most skilled and the best boxer of all time. So to me, that's why I said, okay, then he's the best. So that's who I'm putting on the list.
I don't know, man. I'm surprised.
Is it? I'll give you another example. Here's a more current example. Floyd Mayweather, people might consider to be the best boxer of all time, right? Mm-hmm. Because of his record and all of that, right? Mm-hmm. He'll never be considered great.
Why not?
People will say he might be the best boxer of all time. They will never consider him great. Never.
Why not?
He's not considered great now. So how can he? When is he going to be considered great? He's not considered. I'm not talking about a great fighter, huh?
Probably because of the people he fight.
Okay, that's part, and he set that up that way. That's on him. So exactly, and that's my point. So you can't compare Floyd Mayweather even to Ali, because Ali fought the best fighters of his day in their prime and took it in when he was put himself in situations where he was the underdog. And then if he comes out on top, that's what made him great. That's what I'm saying the difference is. So Floyd Mayweather might be the best boxer of all time, and he's undefeated, but he'll never be great. That's how I differentiate between best and great. It's just another level of what you did in your career and how you did it and what you represent.
That should be our next topic: best versus great.
Best and great. Okay, we can go there.
Some examples. Let me give you my list real quick because you took up all 20 minutes of the show.
Yeah. Well, you go ahead. You pick mine apart. Go ahead. We got you. I got you.
So mine is a little, it's me. So 15, I got Jesse Owens.
Okay. Respect.
Right? 14, I got Venus Williams.
Okay.
13, I got Jim Brown.
Respect.
12, I got LeBron. 11, I got Pele.
Okay.
10, I got Usain Bolt. 9, I got LT.
Okay.
8, I got Phelps.
Okay. Oh.
7, I got Gretzky.
Yep. Respect.
6, I got Brady. You forgot this dude too. Hold on. 5, I got Ali. 4, I got Jordan. 3, you didn't say Tiger Woods.
I didn't. I said Jack Nicklaus.
You say Tiger Woods.
I didn't. I said Jack Nicklaus. Jack Nicklaus got more majors than Tiger. I know I didn't say Tiger. So he got more majors than him. Yep. Go ahead.
2, I got Dion.
Okay.
And I got Bo. Joker, yeah, you could come on. You could come on next week.
Okay.
You come on next week.
You're right. I did.
That's what I got. But the greatest versus best, that's it. I don't know how you didn't get Ali on there, man.
Like I said, I picked it wasn't. I'm not going to say it was easy to keep him off the list. I'm not going there. Ali is what he is one of the best of all time. But I can't see anybody. How am I going to
people better than him though?
But okay, so let me say this: based on his career, and not Ali the man, not Ali what he stood for. Just based on his actual and don't get me wrong, I'm not just. Please don't say that Please don't anybody try to interpret what I'm saying as discrediting Muhammad Ali's boxing career. I'm not doing that at all. What I'm saying is, who on my list could you take off based on their credentials of what they actually did overall in their career versus what Ali did?
Okay, give me 10 to 5 real quick.
10 to 5. I have Federer. Okay, most male wins in Grand Slams of all time. Okay, Brady. Number 9.
You can't go nowhere.
Okay. Margaret Court, like I read off her resume, is crazy.
I don't even know who that is.
I didn't know who she was either, but I read her resume. I wanted to put Serena on there. And then I said, well, let me look to see, as I know Serena was second all time in majors. So I said, well, let me see who's number first to see if I could, what the deal is. And then when I stumbled upon Margaret Court, I was like, yo, her resume is crazy. So I was like, yo, her numbers are ridiculous. How can I put Serena over her? Serena's numbers aren't hers. They're just not. All right. Sugar Ray Robinson. Like I said, now people want to argue who was better between Sugar Ray Robinson and Ali. I've never heard Muhammad Ali been called the greatest pound for pound fighter of all time, but they say that about Sugar Ray Robinson.
They said it about Mayweather too, though.
Oh, no, they don't. But I'm gonna keep it. No, they don't. But I'm like, no, they don't. But I'm gonna keep going. No, they don't. And then 6, I had Gretzky. No, they don't. No,
they said he's the best pound for pound.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
They do.
Nobody says that. At a time he was, and at that point in his career he was, not of all time. And nobody putting Floyd number 1 on anybody's list of best boxers. No, only people that do that are Floyd Mayweather fans. Everybody else, nobody's putting him number 1 all time, regardless of how undefeated it is. He could be undefeated till the year 3000. He's never going to be anybody's number 1, and that just goes to show you something. That's
Kareem over Muhammad Ali,
based on the fact that Kareem, number 1, had a stellar career, high school, college, NBA, and he's the all-time leading scorer in one of the 4 major sports. And that's why I said once LeBron passes him, that's why Kareem will be out. There's lots of people better than Mayweather, Sean. Come on, man. Let's not be. It's typical. People that are Mayweather fans are also LeBron fans. Y'all all follow the same. Like it's like a kid. If you're a LeBron fan, you're a Mayweather fan. It's like Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a code. They all
like
stick.
a package. It's a package.
Yeah, it's a package deal. No question about it.
Magic too. Magic could be in there. Magic could be in there too.
Could
I would
be
take Magic over Kareem.
Oh,
If we going with the word athlete,
based on what? But based off of what?
He played more than one position.
Okay, you can say that, but what credential that does Magic have over Kareem? If Magic was the all-time leading assist, if he still had the assist record, then he could be in the conversation. But to
outside of saving the NBA, playing center when Kareem was out, I mean,
fantastic. If we went to 2025, Magic might be in there, maybe.
I don't know what your list. We might not be doing this again, yo, because your list is kind of shaky. Your list is kind of shaky, man.
Sean, no, you had Sean.
You didn't even put Barkley in there.
I did it. How? He again, he's my favorite. I'm not gonna be biased. No, he's not. He's not one of the top 15 athletes of all time. Come on. I'm not that crazy. He's just not. He was my favorite player. He don't have to be everybody else's best, greatest. He was that's it. So I'm good with that. But nah, come on, I'm not crazy.
So just so I could do my homework, let me write this down. So you said greatest means what for you?
Greatest doesn't necessarily mean that you're the technical best, but your impact and what you've achieved is so much. It's monumentally huge that it's just like you're just on another level. It's not your actual skill level.
Hold on. So if we're doing the greatest of the top 10, top 15 greatest, Ali don't get in there?
Greatest? Yes. Greatest, yes. If you say who are the greatest top 15 people who were greats in the sport, in the sports industry or sports, whatever you want to call it, no, he's number one. If you say who's the greatest greatest athlete, like as far as represented, he might be number one and Mike might be number two. That's probably what I would say.
So when you look at top, you're talking about overall skill and everything, right?
That's how I took it. Yes, just based on skill and accomplishments. That's what I that's how
Ali didn't accomplish nothing with his five belts.
He did. Of course, that's what I'm saying. He did, but to me, compared to the other people on this list who all have accolades and records that are like bars set very high, I think he falls short of that as far as the accomplishments. Again, and that's as a boxer, not as a man, not as a citizen, not as a champion of the people, not separate from all of that. I'm talking about just his. Let's put it this way.
Hold on, at 22, he beat Sonny Liston to become the youngest ever to hold the heavyweight crown.
Right, until Mike Tyson took that record. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't have those records anymore.
Everybody else, I'm looking at Complex. They saying that he's the best boxer of all time. I don't know what you get.
Well,
what site you was on?
I did my own thing. I don't need Complex.
I don't know. I might need.
No, but let me say this. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is part of it too. If Ali had retired sooner, then he might be a little bit higher on the list. But he got some L's at the end of his career, still trying to hang on. If his overall record was a little bit better because he, quit probably when he should have, then that would have increased his best argument. But because he took them L's at the end when he shouldn't have been in there probably, and I'm not even talking about the illness he got from it because that's tragic. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when he was past his prime and he kept fighting and he took some L's on his record, that's part of your legacy. As opposed to he retired, maybe he took, he lost the one to Joe Frazier or whatever, and then maybe one other one that, he was in his prime and he's like, okay, boom, I'm good. And now he only has 1 or 2 losses on his records. Okay, now you took him out. Okay, he got 50-something wins and only 1 or 2 losses. Now it's a little bit different. But you still got to take them L's on. It's still part of it. That's how I see it. I mean,
well, good. I'm glad we're running out of time, so I don't have to keep listening. So let's continue this next week. Let's wrap it up. Next week we're gonna be on again at 9.
Absolutely.
And the following week we're gonna be on Thursdays at 8 p.m.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, we promoing that early. We're switching. They get. I feel good, man. They gave us that, that Seinfeld, that Friends, that the prime time. Thursday at 8. That's like that's like the Cosby Show. Yo, we prime.
we ain't in a different world no more. We ain't in a different world no more. We moving up.
Let's go. Nah, I'm feeling good about it, man. Now I'm looking forward to it. This has been a lot of fun, and the chat is popping today. So keep with the comments. Stay with us. With these new time slots and new days that we're going to be moving to, but we're still going to try to have fun here and bring you great content. And we love the interaction we have with you, with the supporters. So please keep it up. And, this is Coach Matt and Tyler signing off for another great episode of Live by the Three Sports Podcast on the Evening Rush Network. And we'll catch y'all next week. Have a good one.